music. Yeah, it's been off. Right. It's not bad. Well, good morning, everybody. We're here this morning on the Dinner and Dragons Twitch page with Monday Morning Maps with me, JP. So this morning, we got a couple things we're gonna do. One, I have a finished Super Dungeon, at least a rough etching of the Super Dungeon that is complete. I'm going to show you guys each of the pages on that this morning, and I'm hoping, again, if you've been watching the Monday Morning Maps program, to take this design forward and possibly run it through a Kickstarter so people can buy these maps and module them themselves at home. So I'm really excited about that. Having a bagel this morning and a cup of coffee, so just about done with the bagel. I was eating that during setup. I know you enjoy watching me consume carbs, but that's the way this morning's is. And then we're going to continue on a random dungeon creator that we started last week. And that was for the underbelly of the Temple of Sutor in my other game. So that's on Thursdays on Dinner and Dragons. So tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'll give myself a minute to finish my bagel, see if anybody decides to pop into chat. Talk all you want in chat. We, Dinner Dragons folks, we try to communicate with our chat groups as much as possible. Ask questions, get answers, you know, the things you're supposed to do on here. So I'm gonna finish this and we'll have a good 45 minutes together this morning. I'm looking forward to it. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Easter, Zombie Jesus Day, you know, what else? Bagel's really good. Everything bagel. Fully loaded. They could put bacon on it though, I think. Make it better. Alright. Well, I'm not sure what I did there, but I did it. So we got Gordon on there. Gordon, just let me know how the stream is going, please. So, that's not what I want to do. Set up a new camera this morning, try to change the look a little bit, and go from there. So, good. So, Fort Garnack, for my game, is a 12. I'm sorry. There's 11 and a third pages, just like this, 2.5 by 11 dungeon that I've designed for my characters. If you've seen some of my other maps, you know that I normally go ahead and start to put in like all the details in the rooms that I want. Well, I decided to hold off on this particular set. I'm going to get them scanned first so that, you know, you can put in what you want, or I can change it, or I can print them off again, or I just have more options that way. I'd rather go ahead and finish them and get it done because I really like that. But if I want to make copies of these and give to my friends, or, you know, again, try to put up on the Kickstarter, not everybody has the same design for a room that I do, and which is unfortunate because, I mean, I know I got it going on. My dungeons are on fleek, you know, on fleek dungeons right here. So this is what is one of the entrances to Fort Garnack, and man, I'm not gonna. I suck at computers. There we go. This is one of the entrances. So down here in the organ section is what I'm calling it, because it looks like I just copied like the colon and the liver and, you know, whatever else. But this is a potential back door for the players to come in, or front door, depending on how they look at it. Comes across a bridge, and then it leads, you know, into the fort. Now, if you can see right here, I've done this little island, and if you've watched before, you know that I was talking about doing something special with this. The drop from here is going to be about 100 feet, and players will have the option of, you know, if they have enough rope, tying the rope together and lowering down, because they're going to see some shiny, sparkly nom-noms here that they want to go after. And how do they do that? Well, they got to climb down. They're welcome to jump down. I mean, whatever. So, to get down there, they do that. Oh, shit. I don't know what just happened. The map flips over, and then they get to see this part right here, which is what's down there. And that's the island. I got some big rocks, you know, around there, so that if, depending on what they encounter here, they can try to jump and stay out of the way of the creature, the monster, you know, surrounded by the water. It just gives them some things. I got some rough terrain here. So that is the first page, and it'll be a rather difficult monster, I'm sure, because I'm doing it. But it'll also be some very nice treasure down there as well. So we'll have to see what happens and when and if they arrive at Fort Garnack. So that goes into there. So the rest of these chambers, I actually have them backwards. Let me flip them over. I can kind of walk you through the dungeon. So this is the outside entrance, the main entrance to the place. One thing I found when you're designing your dungeons, when you make an entrance, if you're doing your own stuff like this, make your entrance big enough for all your player characters to fit in it. If this down here was my entrance, well, then they'd actually have to start up into this section, and if you have a trap or something set up, it's not really fair to your players, and you don't want that to happen. So try to open up a larger space for them to come in. My original idea for this was like it's a big courtyard or like fountain type area with some big statues here, and it's just overgrown all along the edges. And I just tried to make it symmetrical because most gardens are symmetrical. And with this section right in here, I'll probably have something going on, so they have to actually discover a way back into this section. Nothing too major, but just something for them to check out. Now we flip it over, and here is one of the map sections. That garden can connect to any one of these entrances that I want. And then the other entrance essentially just becomes like a dead end. And then I have 2 more hallways up here that can then connect. So I've made the dungeon modular so that I can just connect it, which is what I wanted to do. You can see the rooms are kind of odd shaped and different things. The cross hatching really stands out, and I'm really looking forward to putting my players through this, just because of the sheer magnitude and multitude of it. So we're going to this. Here. We'll add up. Put him over here with the others. This is probably my magnum opus of Fort Garnack. This reminds me of how I felt. Like, if you look at this and you just feel like lost or like, what the hell? It's exactly how I felt when I went through the Temple of Elemental Evil first edition the first time, because this is how I felt all the hallways and everything were in that particular module. So it's put in here to give my players a feeling of frustration and torment, because it's supposed to. Plus, this is like the killing grounds. Should they awaken every monster in here, they're just going to be hammered with things from all sides, so they're really going to have to be a little bit more cautious. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 ways in and out of this particular section, and this is a few of them. So right there, like the 4 that were on the page, and this just dead ends into this section of the map. Circle rooms are always really awesome, and I always enjoy the little snaking hallways, again, because it just frustrates your players and makes them really angry, which is good from time to time. Now, another section that connects to that massive multitude hallway is this one, because it has 2 more down here. They're just connected all over the place. And again, it has the kind of wraparound snake room, but it also has a staircase. And the staircase on this side will be on the next map, but again, just a different series of rooms, different series of things here. Here, I know that this map is definitely going to be a burial chamber in my game. There's going to be two different ones. So you're going to come in through here, and there'll be a couple of undead, things you move through here. This is kind of the bigger one, which they're going to need a special key to get in and do some things. The dog's here to see me this morning. Yeah, he's a good boy. All right, get out of here. So when I finally lay down all the design inside this, it's going to be a lot of fun. Over on this far side, you see the 3 square rooms. I'm going to load those rooms full of drawn treasure. The main reason being is there's not going to be any way to get to that treasure. So it's a nice little meta test for me and my players, who I'm sure maybe only one of them would watch 15 minutes into this to see. If they're like, oh, well, I got to search over here for secret doors and tunnels and things. Well, it doesn't exist, and if I find you're just doing that in exuberance, you're going to be punished. So this little guy up here. And yeah, if there's anybody on, how is the stream coming through? How's the sound? Your feedback is wanted, appreciated, loved, especially by me. So remember those stairs? Well, here's where those stairs pop out at. On previous Monday morning maps, you got to see me draw this section and then go through and like detail this particular room out. That was before I decided I was going to like wait to do that. So again, there's no other way out of this room. It's just these stairs that lead to it. And, you know, this is kind of where you got to have your religious folks at doing their things. So, another room with big, thick walls. The thickness of the walls here is a lot, you know, a little bit different. One thing I've been warned against with talking with some other GMs is, you know, and you have to be wary of the creativity level of your players when they just want to chop through a wall. You know, how thick is it? How strong are they? Because, you know, that's actually a 5-foot wall right there. 5 feet of wall. This is maybe a foot thick. So, you know, if they want to do that, they can. If you have to insert plot deviceium to prevent that from happening, do what you have to do. But also, allow it to happen. Don't disregard your players' ideas. I had to do that in a previous game, but I'm going to remind that player, like, hey, remember this idea you had before? It might work better here. You know, just because the game is all about imagination, creativity, and if I can be imaginative enough to build this, but not remember to put, you know, maybe a thicker section of wall in between, then I got to pay the piper for that. So, but yeah. It's got a little triangle room up here too, which I like triangle rooms, and some big pillars, or they're going to be like pits, doing something. I'm not sure yet. I have lots of options and lots of time to prepare for it. So there's that. So this is our last section of maps before we get started, and this, I'm not going to lie, is my Legend of Zelda room. Just come into this like ziggurat almost, and you have to go in and work your way around the steps to go up to the top to reveal like this big gem that I drew up here for the purpose of doing that. And then it's going to have a couple of rooms off to the side, and then surrounding it, of course, is blue on all the edges, and this is going to be like filled with water and maybe some water monsters. Players will still be able to explore in here. It's not going to be terribly deep, but I just wanted to change the color on the outside. You saw the green on the other, and we had the black. I also may have been running low on black Sharpie, so this kind of helped me fill that void. But it looks good, and I like it a lot. And so that's what I have. And then the last page again. One thing to remember when making, some big things is you don't always want 5-foot hallways. It makes it really difficult for your players to navigate and be effective if there's a combat encounter. Sometimes you want them to be, what's the word I'm looking for, screwed over? It's not, but you want them to have a challenge. So, here I have a 10-foot snaking hallway leading around. I have the 5-foot snaking hallway. I like the big octagonal room that I have here. I just have a box in the middle of here, which I may do that same test and just put some stuff in here and have them look for it. There's just no way to it because maybe this just got walled up and forgotten. There won't be a secret passage there for them to look for, but it'll drive a few of my players crazy trying to figure out exactly how that works. Man, I got some dropped frames. I don't know what's happening. So yeah. All right. So roll this bad boy up here. That's making a noise. I did add an extra camera this morning, and I wonder if that is having something to do with it. I really hope not. Just moving my drone. Oh no, what's happening? Alright. So, do that. Oh, maybe that's what I did. I'm gonna do a little. Nope, I went and did the little hide with doodles. So, all right, well, we're just gonna keep going and hope this problem fixes itself, or figure out exactly what happened with it, because I hope it's not a hindrance at home. I'm gonna answer this real quick here. 1 second. Alright, so some more coffee. And all right. So, where we were talking last week, I was using the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition random generator. This is kind of washed out pretty bad on the other camera. I feel like it's not going to be able to get in there and focus on us. So let me see if I can do anything to help us out there. Let's see if I get it to zoom in a little bit. What we got. Oh, look at me doing science. Alright, well, that's actually coming around. Okay. The dog here wants some attention, so I'm going to give him some hot pets. And then what I'll do here really quick is on my graph paper, I will go over it with a black pen so that the lines show up a little better and we can see where we were at the last time. But if you were here last time when we did this, kind of better? Yeah, a little bit. We were starting the bottom level of the Temple of Suitor, and the Temple of Suitor is something that the players just finished this week. They have a couple more things that they potentially could go in and try to deal with, and that is completely up to them. They can get that extra XP, but if they don't want to, then the temple's done, and this will appear later, and there'll be more rumors and the typical things that get players interested in going back to a place. So let me cross out that area. Yeah, it's looking a little better for everyone at home, and it'll be something that we continue to focus on and make better for everybody, ourselves, you guys. So get my little Bob Ross out here. Happy little dungeon. Oh, it's a happy little hallway that I can fill with traps. Trap people in. There, that looks a lot better. So this was a really big room that I'm drilling in right now. And again, it was all randomized from the book, and I was just kind of like, oh, I mean, okay, that's what it wants. That's what we get. I wonder if I'm gonna go back in and see if I can make this better for everybody again, including myself, because I want it to be better. Yeah, I have some notes over there, but that's not going to be a huge detriment. I'm trying to see if the camera wants to focus. I get it to refocus there. Yeah, that's all.